Last night, Israel bombed a UN school at al-Nassarirat camp in central Gaza, killing at least 40 Palestinians and injuring many more. The majority of the casualties are women and children, as the world clearly doesn't put the same weight for the loss of Palestinian life as any other life. The IDF's attack also killed a cat, and as far as we know, this cat was not a Hamas senior. Will we finally get international outrage for the loss of this cat? Palestinian refugees in Gaza used the school as a shelter after being displaced internally many times over the past 8 months. Of course, the IDF and their minions were quick to release evidence that the school was used by Hamas as a military base. So what is that evidence? Actually, not much this time, only one aerial image with 2 red squares. Very conclusive evidence. The IDF claims that the school had several terrorists inside, planning a future attack against Israel. Except they didn't provide any evidence to those claims, or the names or numbers of those terrorists, or even their favorite intercepted call evidence after each massacre they commit. But regardless of their transparent disregard of Palestinian lives, schools are protected under international humanitarian law in armed conflicts. Schools and universities are classified as civilian objects, meaning they have high protection status under IHL. In fact, as many Palestinians in Gaza have no shelter besides schools or hospitals, those buildings are also now classified under objects indispensable to the survival of the civilian population, thus raising their protection status even more. Under IHL, protected objects can indeed lose their status if used by the enemy as an active military base, storage facilities for weapons, or as command posts. However, Israel didn't claim any of those uses, only that Hamas seniors are planning a future attack from inside the school. Under IHL, planning a future attack doesn't make a civilian object lose its protection status. But we're talking about Israel's military. The same military that destroyed every single university in Gaza for fun. The same army that has been found to be using schools and hospitals in Gaza as military bases. This is not just based on investigations and reports. This is based on the IDF publishing TikToks and videos of themselves using hospitals and schools as military bases. So they're not really hiding their war crimes. Once again, Israel commits a massacre and then blames the victims for committing war crimes they're guilty of doing themselves. I also want to highlight one specific thing in Israel's official statement and their minions' propaganda. They all stress and highlight that the school was owned and operated by UNRWA. It's one of their many organized efforts to label UNRWA as a terrorist organization. In fact, they already passed a bill in the Knesset labeling UNRWA as such, and now the bill is going into parliament. Then they dare to say that the world is holding Israel to an impossible moral standard. Anyway, did your favorite news outlet report on this UN school massacre? Or are they too busy covering pro-Hamas protests in schools in the US and Europe? Free Palestine, ceasefire now.